And hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Vine and welcome to episode 12 of my modern day WWE save on TW 2020. Yes, we're back, it's Fridays, you know what that means. We're going to have another Smackdown edition. Yes, obviously I've got a big kind of main event I announced last week. Obviously we've got Drew McIntyre going against Roman Reigns in the main event. Obviously we've got Cesaro going against Sami Zayn. We have, obviously, the Intercontinental Titleship is on the line as well with Shinsuke Nakamura going against Sheamus, and yeah, a lot of stuff as well. As always, I jam-packed these quite big. Obviously, it's 2 more weeks before the road. We're on the road to Elimination Chamber. Obviously, this is week 2. We've got 2 more weeks to build. So yes, this will be good stuff. I've got high hopes for this one. That main event should do well. One thing I obviously forgot to say, we've got a Battle Royal to find out who's going to be that 6th man in that Elimination Chamber and number 1 contendership match to face Roman at WrestleMania. We'll find out tonight as well. You might be surprised or you might not be surprised who I've picked. But we'll find out obviously in the edition. So yes, obviously if you enjoy my save at the moment, please like and subscribe. Obviously if you missed last week's Smackdown, the link to be on the top somewhere below, at the top there somewhere. Obviously if you've missed, but if you Smackdown's not your show and you want to watch Raw, I did an episode on Monday as well, so you want to check that out. I'll put a link there somewhere as well, or in the description below. So jam-packed show, really good stuff here. So I look forward to showing it to you. See if hope you enjoy it. I have enjoyed this save so much. It's really brought out the creative side to me, so it should be good. So the edition, let's go and start showing, or this is my edition of Friday Night Smackdown. So should be good. Fingers crossed it is, so I'll find out. So yeah, let's get going. So we start off with the Bloodline in the ring for 45, very good there. Jimmy and Jay is apparently not doing very good off script. That's fine, I'm guessing that makes sense. This is kind of a simple kind of Bloodline, basically in the ring. Kind of Roman Reigns saying what happened last week was with Drew getting in his way. He's going to trying to re-establish dominance in this, because this is his show. And obviously Drew will pay for his getting in his business like he did last week in the main event. And he's going to beat him to the inch of his life, so he can't even make it to the Elimination Chamber match in 2 weeks. Obviously he kind of puts across one where it's like he doesn't care about this Battle Royal that obviously we're having tonight. That we'll find the 6th member of that number 1 contendership Elimination Chamber match, who will find out who will face Roman at WrestleMania. He doesn't care who he is, because at the end of the day, he's still going to be champion whoever he faces at WrestleMania. So there is no difference here. And then he just says, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to watch. And and then obviously that sets up that the Battle Royal is going to be next. The big Battle Royal is going to be a 10-man Battle Royal. So 45, very good there. So obviously he doesn't care, but as we all know, heels lie. So of course he says he doesn't care, but people that say that normally care a great deal. So the question is, who's going to win at the Battle Royal? And who's going to be the 6th member in the Elimination Chamber match in 2 weeks? This one is, obviously we've got the big players will be in the match, so the question is, who's going to be there? Let's find out. So that match is next. And obviously the winner of this Battle Royal and securing that 6th spot is, for 42, of course, Brock Lesnar. I'm sure Brock Lesnar won. Yes, just double checking because I might have accidentally done it wrong. So obviously a lot of mid-card, lower mid-card guys in there. So 42, expecting much, obviously everyone except for Brock in this one. Nothing crazy here. I just need to find a way to get Brock in. I know I didn't have to. I could have just put him in the match, but I kind of like the idea that obviously he comes back from the suspension, he comes back and he hits and he just takes everyone out. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, well, that's kind of like annoying why Brock doesn't work, but you kind of got to bring him. If you've got Brock Lesnar, you've got to kind of use him. And also, I'm using him more than they normally would, because he wouldn't even dare be on SmackDown and competed in matches. It just wouldn't happen. And so obviously, I've put was it Ricochet Final Four? Ricochet's in there, being the final elimination. I put Drew Gulak, whatever works, it's fine. I like that Ricochet might actually work a bit better because obviously they've had a history, they've had a match before. So obviously I like the idea that Ricochet tries to eliminate him, like a drop kick and that kind of stuff. But he tries to go to the top too many times. Tries to top. Brock catches him in midair, hits an F5, and then chucks him over the top rope to get the win. And obviously he looks at Roman saying that title will be mine soon. And Roman's like, he wasn't scared. He said he wasn't scared, but now he's terrified because he's like, oh God, Brock's back. So, yeah, Roman's on the ropes. So it'll be interesting to see if that combines anything to the main event. We'll find out later on. But yes, obviously, so we've got all of our 6 men are ready for the Elimination Chamber match in 2 weeks. So awesome stuff there. So obviously after that, we're going to hear from one of the members of that 6-man Elimination Chamber match. And that is the conspirator himself, Sami Zayn, for 53. Very good there. Looks like clearly being off script works. I like it. But yes, obviously Sami Zayn's talking about how Drew won last night was a fluke. And it was due to bad officiating. Because it wasn't anything to do with anything like, Drew's really good. Bad officiating. I put a little joke there, like if they have video refs would have seen the disgraceful behaviour of the officials. And and obviously, and he kind of goes on about the conspiracy continues because I'm facing Cesaro tonight, and obviously I'm going against a Swiss. Well, we all know is neutral, and we know and there's no way you can trust someone that is neutral. Kind of playing up to the part. Obviously, Switzerland's always been neutral in most wars, so why not? And obviously, this guy's a conspiracy nut, so why not go there? Why not? And but he said he's going to find a way to beat the odds again. And all this stuff they're putting against him is not going to work. So, so obviously that sets up for, obviously we're going to have Cesaro versus Sami Zayn later tonight, but that's not next. Before that, we hear from possibly Alliance, like maybe Ricochet is softening up to Drew Gulak. Because after that, we get from them backstage talking about how we helped each other in that Battle Royal for 42, very good there. Poor improv, I have to remember that. With Ricochet, but basically Ricochet's talking to Gulak, thanking him for his help in the Battle Royal. But Ricochet's kind of still hesitant. But every week he's one by one, and one by one he's going to be his partner at some point. But yeah, the kind of idea I've put, his desire has always been to be a great single star. So that's why he's hesitant to go after be teaming with Drew Gulak. But he owes him one. So obviously next week he will be by his side in his match against Ali. He will be by his side as a favour. He's still not there yet, but we get every week closer and closer. We can say softening to this idea of being Drew Gulak's partner. So let's see what happens obviously next week. But yeah, stuff is going on, moving along quite nicely. So obviously after that we do get the next match is going to be Sami Zayn versus Cesaro. So it should be a good one. I like this match. It should be good. So let's figure out it's enough of beating around the bush. Let's find out. So, who won? Was it Cesaro or was it Sami Zayn? Let's find out. For 45, obviously Cesaro wins with a neutralizer. Obviously Sami Zayn 50, Cesaro 41. Again, I done it again with the same guy. I've got to stop doing that. I don't know why I keep doing it. Sami Zayn is doing well, as you expect. But the way I've done this match now, crazy. I like the idea of Cesaro doing like 13 swings because that's an unlucky number. Continuously on the conspiracy. I like Sami Zayn works well like that. But yeah, gets a win with his neutralizer. Nothing crazy here. So yeah, Cesaro I think is on a roll. I think it's 2 in a row now. So he could be the favourite to face. Maybe he will face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We'll find out. But at the moment, good momentum so far for the Swiss Cyborg. So obviously after that, we do hear from the Universal Champion, trying to pep talk and kind of motivate his cousins. Obviously with Brock back, Roman's kind of a bit shaken, if you want to say, for 46. Yeah, it's kind of a situation that he's going back. He's talking to you, saying he's fed up of them kind of tiptoeing around the issue to get the tag titles back. They need to start making results, or there will be hell to pay. And obviously, kind of situation. Obviously, we need the momentum at the moment because obviously Brock's back. It obviously seems like Brock's the one he's the most afraid of if he has to face him at the WrestleMania if he wins. But him back, the momentum's key, and obviously he wants them to be. They better be by his side in that main event to make sure that Brock doesn't come anywhere near that match, because obviously he's scared. So it's one of those things. So obviously after that we cut back to backstage, and then we see that Sasha Banks is unconscious. It looks like someone's taken it out for a 37. Not surprised there, because obviously you expect that. A couple of months that'd be a better score. I I know it will be. But yeah, obviously we go cut to backstage. Sasha Banks found unconscious in the back. Obviously everyone's kind of checking her, getting medical attention. Obviously, and then we kind of see Shayna Baszler kind of smiling because it's very obvious it's probably her. Naomi kind of sees that. Obviously checks on her friend, but then sees her laughing and says, "Oh," and points to her saying, "I bet it was you." And then Katrina goes after her. They get separated by security, and kind of done this to set up. There's going to be a match between Shayna Baszler and Naomi next week. So the question is Sasha Banks going to be okay? But so it'd be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, Sasha Banks taken out. So hopefully we should be back for possibly if she's going to compete in the elimination chamber. We'll find out, but she's been taken out this week. So obviously after that we hear from a former WWE champion in Kofi Kingston talking about facing Jay tonight and how it means a bit more than just facing one half of the bloodline and our rivals. This means more to him than people realise. For a 62 there, very good there. Kofi kind of talks about how he has a chip on his shoulder because after losing the WWE Championship, he kind of resorted back to what he knew. Tag team wrestling, and he was very successful at being tag team because he has one half of the Smackdown tag team champions. But facing what Jay said and going back into single star arena, he wants to prove again and to himself that he can still be a single star, because obviously they've never done it in real life. But I like the idea that. Not like the thing I'm doing with Big E or anything like that, but like, acknowledging that did affect him. It's like the reason why he became a tag team champ, back to tag team. It's not because of obviously real life. It's because they basically said, well, you've had your chance, go back to tag team with your spot. But like this one, I like the idea he did it because of character choice that I kind of like. So yeah, obviously, and then tonight when he faces Jay, he's going to put all his frustrations, all his anger that he has over the years of that disappointment, and Jay better watch out. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. I don't know, I like the idea of Kofi having, he's been bottling that for a while, but maybe he's going to find an outlet for it. But funny thing is that match is next, so the question is who's going to win? Is Kofi going to get a bit of frustration out, finally prove that he's a winner as a single star as well as a tag team wrestler, or was Jay going to try and get momentum up for the bloodline? Obviously trying to see one step closer to maybe giving him momentum, they get the tag titles back. So obviously that match is next, and the winner is Kofi Kingston with Trial Paradise for 37, 42, 50. I'm not surprised by this. They are tag team wrestlers. In real life, this actually would be a better match, I think. It would be a better match. But the way I've done this is the ending kind of with Jay going to top, trying to hit that Uso splash. Kofi gets out of the way, just when he time to recover, getting up, boom, Trouble in Paradise, 1, 2, 3, and Kofi gets the win. But obviously after, I don't know what more to say here with like 37. It's not great, but I think that game's been a little bit harsh, but this game always is when it comes to putting the tag team wrestlers. So, I mean, let's have a look, actually, why it didn't do so well. I'm going to come down to... No, all seem to be working fine. Let's have a look. Why did it not work? Quality of penalty for very low experience, because they're both tag team wrestlers. That makes sense, but I want to do it. Obviously, I have to remember that I might get low scores for this, but as a tag team, they're very good. So, but obviously after that, Jimmy was not happy with this result, obviously, so he comes into the ring and attacks Kofi. We have a 2-on-1 attack beatdown, and then we have obviously King Woods comes in for the save. Kind of to set up their match between Jimmy and King Woods next week. So yeah, good stuff there. So would be better, but again, singles match I'm expected to be as low, so that's fine. I like it. So obviously after that we hear from Toni Storm. Obviously she made her debut last week, obviously attacking Xia Li with a match after a match against the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair last week. She comes to the ring kind of shortly just to explain why she attacked her and why she is on SmackDown. For a 28, no surprise there. I wasn't going to get a very good score. I mean, I put it for 4 minutes, but it's fine. I'm going to get low scores for anyone that's not Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, or the one. So it's going to take some work, but I think Toni Storm, I like Toni Storm in the sense of her wrestling ability, and also her character is really good, so I like this one here. But basically she comes to the ring, And said people asking, why does she attack Xia Li? Why does she even attack anyone at all? She didn't need to. Because he says she always wants to make an impact. And everyone knows you start on the weak link to show people who's boss. And that's what I did. And that's what she did. I don't regret it. Because my time is now. It is Tony time. I know how lame that sounds. But it makes sense. You code Tony time, 2T, it makes sense. It's rubbish, but it's corny, but it's fine. Tony Storm, she needs a catchphrase, to be fair. Yeah, but then obviously, and this show is now mine. Just like NXT UK was my show. This is going to be my show. So, yeah, obviously, but obviously do you think Xia Li is going to hear this and not want to get revenge? So she had enough of this. Xia Li comes down to the ring. We have a fight. Tries to come to the ring. Tries to stand her ground. But just when she comes into the ring, Tony Storm comes out to the... gets out of the ring. Runs up to the stage. And smiles as a typical heel. So it's only a matter of time before these two clash. It could be soon. It could be at Elimination Chamber. Could be in a couple of weeks. But we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, 28. I normally would be really annoyed with this. But for the scores they have and for the time I gave it, I probably gave this segment more time than the game. Than they probably would. Because I just think... I don't know. I would like a feud like this. I think it would be good. So, it's my thing. So obviously after that we hear from a former champion a former tag team champion, a former United States champion, a former WWE and World Heavyweight champion, and that's Sheamus. But there's one, as all those titles I've just talked about, there's one that's always eluded him, and that is the IC title. And he wants to rectify that tonight when he talks to Shinsuke Nakamura backstage for a 43. Very good here. Obviously I didn't put Shinsuke Nakamura in this, but yeah, he's I've changed my mind in the sense that put him involved because it makes sense. So yes, obviously Sheamus, in this I've said Sheamus goes, talks about Nakamura, saying he's fed up of everyone talking about Drew, talking about Nakamura, but not about him. Maybe he needs to win a title before the Elimination Chamber. Maybe he needs to, that's how he's going to get to momentum, make his mark. Because he says, there's one title I've never won. I've won everything in this company. Twice over. But I've never won the IC Championship. The Intercontinental Championship with that illustrious history and a superstar like myself. One of the defining wrestlers of this company. And I haven't become the Intercontinental Champion. That can't stand. And he will rectify that tonight. As he challenges Shinsuke Nakamura. And obviously, let's put a situation Nakamura hears where this comes in. While he's being interviewed and kind of just goes, "You're on." And sets up Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. But, yeah, interesting here. So the question is, will it happen? Will Sheamus finally win the IC title? Or will Nakamura keep his run going as the IC champion? We'll find out next. So the answer to that question is... For 53, yes, Nakamura is still your IC champion. I was never going to go crazy here. Looks like they do well together, because obviously a 52 by Nakamura, a 39 by Sheamus. And they get above the highest score in Nakamura for a point. So that means they're probably down they're decent bout here. I've been on for 10 minutes here. But yeah, so a great match here. Both men going all out to win the match. But Nakamura the ending kind of ends with Nakamura countering... Sheamus? Yeah, after Sheamus tries to go for a roll up, he counters, and just when Sheamus tries to gets his bearings, he has a Kinshasa on the back of the neck for the win. And yeah, Nakamura's still your champion. And also he gets the title, walks down the ramp, and he got Sheamus looking absolutely furious. I don't think that's going to be the end of it. I think Sheamus is going to be unleashed. Maybe in the next couple of weeks or in Elimination Chamber, because he is furious about what Drew's doing to him, and what this is happening here with Shinsuke Nakamura. So we'll find out by next week. But yeah, we don't have a new champion, sadly. But maybe in the future I might do a Sheamus Intercontinental title one, but not today. So obviously after that we hear from the person that he despises Sheamus, and that is Drew McIntyre, talking about his main event match against Roman Reigns, and he's got he wants to keep momentum going because he still has his dream of main event in WrestleMania. 453, very good there. He actually needs to pick up wins if he wants to main event WrestleMania. And he doesn't forget that loss to Roman Reigns. That Survivor Series, I'm assuming 2 years ago, when he beats him. Because tonight, he's going to rectify that, rectify that loss. He's going to show people that he is a force to be reckoned with. And everyone's going to be acknowledging Drew McIntyre, not Roman Reigns. So Drew McIntyre, big talk there. So the interesting thing, would he win? So obviously we would normally find out first, but first we hear from the advocate of the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Boy, I'm talking about, maybe you haven't seen the last of Brock tonight. 461, no surprise there, from the master of promos that is Paul Heyman. Yes, talking about how Brock isn't finished tonight. And everyone should be worried and be on notice, especially Roman Reigns. So the way I've set this up is a situation as they always do. Brock's got his own dressing room. Paul Heyman comes out after from the dressing room. And I like the idea why he's saying is Brock's basically ruining the dressing room because he is fuming. Yeah, he won tonight. But he's had Roman Reigns on his mind for nearly 2 months. It's built up anger that I think Roman Reigns should be really worried. So, interesting stuff here. So he wants to get his hands on Roman Reigns. Would that be tonight? Or would that be possibly at WrestleMania if he wins the Elimination Chamber? We don't know. But that little wrinkle, that kind of doubt, is in everyone's thoughts going into the main event with Drew McIntyre going against Roman Reigns. So the question is, will this stuff with Brock and Roman Reigns kind of mess with Roman Reigns' head and mess with the possibility that Drew can capitalise and maybe get a huge win for himself? The question is, let's find out. So who's going to win? Is it going to Drew or is it going to be Roman Reigns in the main event of this edition of Smackdown? And the answer to that question is Drew McIntyre gets the win with a Claymore kick for a 61, a 60 there. 54 by Drew, 61, very good match. The way this kind of matches, it's a great match. Both men putting everything in, as you said. But it ends with the Usos trying to get involved, trying to do what the Usos do for the Roman Reigns, cheat to help him cheat to win, distract enough so Roman can hit a spear. But then obviously when they're just about to do it, Brock Lesnar comes down, music comes down, they're all shocked. Usos trying to run up ramp, attack him. Brock takes him out. Suplex City on the ramp. All that kind of beautiful stuff. Obviously, Roman's kind of shocked, but he's keeping his eye on Brock, but he's not keeping his eye on Drew McIntyre. Turns around, boom, Claymore kick straight to the face. Gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Shock win for Drew McIntyre. Huge win. He pins the Universal Champion. Roman Reigns is stunned, and obviously he's taken out his cousins. Roman Reigns is vulnerable. Brock has him at his mercy. So that's how we're going to end the show with obviously Brock comes into the ring, 450. Very good there. Brock comes into the ring. He picks him up by his hair, sitting there saying, "This is only the beginning of what I have in store for you." Picks him up, hits one F5, takes his Paul Heyman goes and gets the championship, gives it to Brock. He holds it up high, and that's how the image we end the show. Roman's with Brock now in this number one championship elimination chamber match. Roman's now probably looking a bit wide now. He's looking a bit wide because now the other ones he's beaten before, he's beaten them all, but Brock Lesnar is the one that he fears the most, the one that could actually topple the Tribal Chief and his kingdom that he has created. So that ends the show. So 50 for that segment. So I don't know with this. I think I hope it gets my highest thing. I would hope it gets 60. Because obviously my Raw didn't do as well as I was like. Bit of game, kind of figure out the game there. So hopefully if I can get a 55 would be a good score. I think obviously with Raw it's really strange. You get 70s but still don't get a good score. So the question is, I don't know. So let's find out. So who is going? So I don't know what I'm talking about in a moment. Let's find this out. Let's find out what is the final score. What is this short score for the show for this edition of SmackDown? Let's find out. And we get a 60. Excellent. excellent, excellent, excellent. Exactly what I wanted from the show. It's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It seems like no problems, no show notes or anything like that. Maybe just the Raw was something like a blip. But yeah, so Raw gets the high score this week for 60. Very good here. I think obviously the main event did well. Obviously the Cesaro and Sheamus, Cesaro and Sami Zayn done well. Obviously I think Nakamura and Sheamus did well as well. I think all the matches did well. Obviously the tag team match between Kofi and Jay, not so well. Obviously the women's stuff with Shayna Baszler, didn't do well backstage, and obviously the match and the Toni Storm and Xia Li stuff, but it didn't seem like it's really put the show down anyway. I think it's just because, as always, the stuff that you expect to perform in stuff like the Sami Zayns, the Cesaros, the Drews, the Roman Reigns. Obviously Brock's on the show, so it's probably get hyped it up as well. So big Smackdown here. Obviously it's set up some interesting plot points for going into the Elimination Chamber. So it's shaping up to be a pretty interesting show, isn't it? So I look forward to seeing if I can build up Smackdown's end quite nicely, because obviously I've still got a lot. I think I'm building up Raw's end of the card very well. So even if I had to downplay of the Raw last episode. So 60. Very, very pleased with that one. Very pleased. So 60. I've also checked it after we did the show. I think it's the second best show we've ever done. So I think it's the best, possibly maybe the best SmackDown, or one of the best SmackDowns we've done. So good show here. It might help that obviously Brock's back, so that might help. Roman did well. Did well. Drew's did well. Like, everyone's kind of hit his mark. Obviously the women's stuff. With Sasha Banks and the Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler and Naomi stuff backstage, and obviously the Xia Li and Toni Storm stuff didn't do as well as you expect. But again, the problem is, except if you're Charlotte and Sasha Banks, you're not going to get high scores. Not yet anyway. That's my plan. I'm going to get better scores. That is the plan. So 60. I'm really happy with that. So obviously let's move along. Obviously we're gonna next episode we're back to Monday Night Raw. Obviously I've got one or two big stuff for their plan. Don't want to reveal anything, so if you want to find out more, you have to watch on Monday at 4:30. You have to check that out. Obviously, obviously for Friday Night Smackdown, we're back next Friday with I've got obviously more of the participants of the Elimination Chamber match facing off. Obviously we've got some interesting matches there. Don't want to spoil anything for that, so you just have to watch to find out. So so obviously I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe as well. That would be really helpful. So obviously leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this save. Obviously we're neck deep in it now. Obviously we're a month and a bit into it now, so let's see if we can keep the momentum going into Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania as well. So so I must say further ado, and leave you to enjoy the rest of your weekend. So so I'll be back on Monday at 4:30 for my next edition of my Monday Night Raw or my save. So hope you enjoyed. Until then, have an awesome weekend, and I'll be back then. So bye everyone. Bye.